Robert Isker, and
and I'm Deborah Isker.
And we've been members of Beth Shalom about 35 years now.
I've come to appreciate at least Western Washington, the Seattle area, the whole Northwest is really kind of a bubble, just in terms of values and the way things are done compared to the rest of the country.
My name is Shavit. I'm from Israel, so Odessa, which is a small village not far from Jerusalem. So I'm here doing a year of volunteering by the Jewish Agency for Israel, which basically means I delay my army service in a year, and instead I'm doing volunteering in Jewish communities. That's what this volunteering year means, and I'm doing it in Seattle, working with the Beth Shalom Community.
Being a part of Beth Shalom, I've done a lot of volunteer type stuff over the years. I think a lot of what I learned is from their example, and it wasn't really a lot of direct, you need to do this or you need to do that. It was, I think, more by this is what we do, and it's up to you. I mean, obviously you have to make your own way in the world, but that was a lesson that I think I learned from them, that you make a good contribution as you can.
I think my biggest value is seeing every human being as a human being, no matter where they came from, what are their sex, race, or anything else. When I meet a new person, I'm trying to see the soul that is in the human being under all the covers that usually sometimes hide this deep and very important thing.
Those are things that I hope I have transmitted to my own children. You hope that the values that you've learned get passed on.
I think Robert and I get along pretty well. Number one, because of course we ignore each other, but number two, because most of our basic values are similar. We really do care about the world that we live in and what we're going to leave for our children.
I'm hoping that in the Army I'll be able to live my values, especially if I'll be in a position that will allow me to do that, such as an officer or anything else.
I'd like to leave an impact on the world in terms of my values and the things I do, but not leaving an impact in terms of consumption and waste and those sorts of things. I think we take to heart the whole idea of tikkun olam, as I translate it, repairing the world, making the world a better place. For the double chai brunch today, look at what you're not only eating, but eating with and eating off of, and all of this is compostable. Coffee, the tea, these are fair trade. These are helping people in countries that have in the past not been able to really make a decent living. As a congregation, we are basically making a statement that these things are important to us. So, if we're talking about living our values, I think this is a perfect example. Just looking at what how we're eating and what we're eating and drinking, that this is a perfect example of how we live our values, and not just they're nice to talk about, and values are a nice thing to have, but if you don't live them, if you don't put them into action, then it is just a lot of talk. So I think part of living your values is also making sure that there is a structure and a staff to help with those values.
I think that's really important, is that there has to be an environment for all of what you want to see go forward to grow and to flourish. And whether you're wealthy, not wealthy, if you've chosen to be part of a community like Beth Shalom, then it really is important to feel responsible to sustain it. This is just a great way for the congregation and for all of us today to be sitting in this place and realizing that it does take all of us. It's not like the village to raise a child, but it is the congregation to support everything that we want, both for ourselves and for our families and for future generations. This building and the people who help run the programs needs to be here, and it can't just be here on good intentions. It also has to be backed up by our willingness to contribute and to help financially to what needs to be done.
My generation in general, we want to make a change.